Hello there, beautiful mummies, daddies. This is just a short video really on offering some love, compassion and support for this really strange time that we're alive. I myself am 6 months pregnant, and I know that for a lot of pregnant women right now, this can almost feel like a little bit more of a scary time to be alive. We're scared and we're worried for ourselves, for our babies that we are bringing into this world, whether they're safe, whether they're going to survive this whole, this epidemic that's going on right now. So there's a lot of fears buzzing around many parents right now. And in regards to that, all we can do is really just take a step back, release any form of control for the outside world and what's going on, and this need to try and control. Just take a step back, go inwardly, and just focus on yourself and your baby, your family. A lot of people are getting very mixed up in lots of different theories based around how Covid-19 came around, what's it about, why is it here, what is the agenda behind it all. You know what? Just trust in God's greater plan and trust that your babies chose to come to this world now, during all of this. They chose to enter into a physical manifestation within your womb whilst all this is going on. So to some degree, like we think, we like to feel like we have control of what's going on. You think you planned your pregnancy so perfectly and all the scientific elements that came in, but if that soul was not meant to be here right now, if that life was not meant to be embodied in this moment in time, it wouldn't be. So all of our science, all of our planning, everything, to a degree, we're guided on such a high level. We don't understand everything that's going on. We like to think we know. We like to think we have some form of control. And that gives us this feeling of, it helps us to feel more secure and confident in our environment and our world. So now we are living through a very strange time where we feel like we have no control. And you know what, to a degree, we really don't. This is just a wonderful opportunity to practice surrender, to practice acceptance, to go inwardly on the self. All we can ever do is work with ourselves, recognize how our external environment is having us feel inwardly, and what is that bringing up within us. What can we address from this opportunity of deeper insight? Now, for lots of mummies out there, there is a lot of grieving going on because we had dreams, we had an idea maybe how we wanted to experience this pregnancy. We wanted to maybe go to antenatal groups, meet other mums. We wanted to feel more confident about what we were doing, what our birthing experience was going to be like, being given some control maybe of, what's your birthing plan? Where would you like to give birth? Who would you like to have with you? And all these things that many of us have already thought about, suddenly those choices and the instructions we had when we felt we had control are taken from us. And that is very difficult, and that has us feel very shaken up because things don't feel normal. Now, for a lot of us who have been going through this particular journey of awakening over the last sort of 10 years or more, we're kind of used to things not feeling and being normal, living and being without the confined norms of everyday society. But there are many, many of us that this is all very new right now. So this is a first time that we're being made to feel that we are outside of the norms all of a sudden. The world in which we once knew it to be, how things are, like everything at the hospital, things are changing because, you know, we have our midwife appointments, our blood test appointments. Things are being cancelled left, right and centre because it's not safe to intermingle for us to go into the hospitals at the moment, whatever it is. So everything is just out of the norms. Okay, so and that in itself can feel quite scary. It makes you feel like, does anybody actually know what they're doing, what's happening right now? And you know, even the midwives, all the medical staff, everybody is having to adjust to like a very fast pace of change occurring constantly, because it's not just change like now, it's then next week it could be completely different again, the week after it could completely be different again. So we just have to surrender into the moment. And actually, like I said, when you pull yourself back from all of that, we can find peace right now, where we are right now, here in this moment. We are safe, our baby is safe, and we just have to keep pulling ourselves back and reminding ourselves of that. It's when we start to think of the future, the what ifs, all that we are feeling right now that we have no control of, that is when the anxiety and the fears start to overcome us. So just surrender and finding peace in the moments. I have absolute compassion and empathy for people who, you know, had hopes of experience a particular kind of pregnancy, who had these dreams of their birth being a particular way. But whether we were living through the era of Covid-19 or not, anything can happen at any time. And, you know, going back to my first pregnancy with my daughter, who I've mentioned before, she's now 13 years old. I had this wonderful idea. My birthing plan was to have a home birth. At the time, I was quite young and I was petrified to be going into the hospitals, and like hospitals just scared me, and I wanted to avoid that as much as possible. And I planned this beautiful home birth. It did not turn out that way. Last minute, there was a couple of complications. I had to be rushed into hospital. I had to be put on a drip. My waters had been broken for too long, and I was devastated at the time. I didn't allow myself. I stayed so angry through the whole giving birth and labor experience, the fact that I had to go into hospital because it didn't quite turn out exactly how I wanted it and how I'd planned it. And I put myself under a lot more stress, just not accepting the situation in the moment as it was, and just going with it and flowing with it and trusting that everything was as it was meant to be. Okay. And so, like I said, at any time anyway, even when we have these plans, they don't always go to plan. And we don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow, next week, in 6 months' time, whenever your due date is. We don't know what the world is going to be at that time. So it is really difficult for us to plan ahead. And that can have us feeling quite insecure, not being able to plan ahead for our little babies. One of the things that has kind of got to me slightly, like a week or so ago, was shopping for baby clothes and things. You know, actually going and exploring, going into the shops and looking at the different outfits, trying out the different prams and all those usual things that would be exciting normally when you're pregnant, maybe, helping you to prepare, to, you know, to get things ready for your little one coming along. Because usually I hate going shopping. I hate going into shops. I just, can't be doing it. But I think it's a bit different when you're shopping for baby things, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it was just this idea of like, oh, I'm probably going to have to get everything online. I'm not going to be able to go and look at it properly first, play with it, feel the texture and the quality of the clothes before buying it. That experience of going into the shops and exploring all the baby bits and everything kind of been taken away from me. And that did momentarily make me feel a bit sad. And I thought, well, and like I said, my due date is the end of July, so things could have changed by then. However, I just have to go with the flow of things right now. As I said, we just don't know. And just trying to accept the situations right now. Accepting it isn't being weak. Accepting it isn't saying that, oh, it's all right then, everything that's going on, no matter what the theories that we got based around it. The acceptance is about finding the inner peace for you at this time. And for you at this time, it is very important for you to try and be in that peaceful state as much as possible. But absolutely, allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to grieve the dreams that you had. But just trust that your babies have chosen to be born at this time, have chosen to manifest into a physical form during this time, and just support that as much as possible. To a large degree, we might be being, well, it's not that we're being tested. We can have a perspective that we're being tested, but if anything, this is that we're being given the opportunity to show ourselves where we're at right now. This is a massive thing that is going on around us, and how we approach the situations, how we respond to each other and ourselves during this time, and how we go on to adapt. Remember, we are incredibly adaptive creatures. We have a wonderful ability to adapt to a very changing environment. So, just allow yourself to adapt. Allow yourself to accept things as they are in the moment. Release expectations, because we don't know, as I said, from in a few months' time, in a few weeks' time, we don't know exactly how things are going to be, when things are going to start changing, as and when, if things are going to start going back to normal or not. So just releasing any kind of expectation and just allowing yourself to go with the flow and to find peace in whatever the circumstances are in the moment. Try not to get too carried away with future thinking. Try and be present in the moment. Still have your ideas how you would like your birthing experience to be. If the opportunity does come up to do actual physical antenatal classes where you go into groups or not, but obviously there are a lot of online things being offered, which is wonderful. There's a lot of online support, there's a lot of online classes that are being made available. I think a lot of them you might have to pay for, but still there are other ways of us getting about to still have some of those experiences. I think the biggest worry for most parents at the moment is what the birthing experience is going to be like, and if they're going to be made to be on their own, if they're going to be able to have their loved ones there, are they going to be able to have the usual choice of birthing options available to them. And as I said, have your ideal scenario in mind, how you would like it to be, but just be ready for and open to any kind of change, and just having to adapt that in the moment. Just go with the flow of everything. try to be as accepting as possible, and just trust in God's great plan. Okay. It is a really strange time for everybody right now, and my love and condolences for anybody that's lost a loved one during this time, because whether you've lost a loved one due to the virus or any other circumstances at the moment, it's a difficult time because of the way funerals are being held, whether people are allowed to the funerals or not. So yeah, everything is not as it was, and everything is incredibly different to what any of us have ever known it before. So, you know, let's just be here for each other, love and support each other. Try not to feed into the fears that surround us, and try not to project some of our own fears onto other expecting mothers. Talk about how you feel, but recognize within yourself what's coming up that could be something a little bit deeper within you. And, you know, I think for a lot of people there's a real victim energy going on, like, you know, well, why me, why is this going on right now when this is meant to be such a wonderful, precious time for me? It still is a wonderful, incredibly precious time. You are nurturing, growing new life in your womb right now. Like, you don't get much more special than that. That's incredible. That's beautiful. That's a miracle manifesting within itself. So just take our time to step back and be thankful, be grateful, and just be in the moment. Because often, if you just pull back and go into the moment, you're safe. Right now, right here, everything's all right. Okay? We might not know what's coming tomorrow, but right now, we're all right. We're safe. Our babies are safe and healthy. Okay. Anybody who has any worries or wants to communicate in any way, just, I'm here. My heart is open, and obviously going through a pregnancy during this time, during this strange time, I can really connect with how you might be feeling right now. So please do contact me if you feel to. My love and support is here. My heart is open, and just, yeah, surrender, go with the flow, try to be accepting in the moment, be present, and those elements will really help you through this time. And just remember, you don't need to worry about your babies and what all of this is potentially doing to them. Actually, more than anything, what many of us are grieving and upset about, as I said before, is the dreams that maybe this just isn't as we hoped it would be, how we'd planned it. And have absolute compassion for yourself for that. Just try not to get stuck in the density of that energy, that victim energy of things not being exactly how you wanted it to be. And let us rise and move forwards and just be the best that we can for ourselves and our babies right now. Release the need to control. So, you know, I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I couldn't wait when she was born and that I'd get to do all these amazing things with her, taking her out in the pram for the first time, walking around town with her, just doing everyday normal things, but with her by my side. As a mummy, I'm suddenly doing all these things as a mummy. And I can imagine the excitement for many of you. The baby showers, the people coming round to visit once the baby's born, all of those things. So there is a lot that we're releasing at the moment. But ultimately, when that baby arrives, you'll find that the most precious of times anyway are just when you are laid there, maybe just laid on the bed with your baby by your side, gazing into their beautiful, innocent little face and just mesmerized by them, totally mesmerized by every movement, every breath, really soaking in how they look, just everything. And they are the most precious moments. So you know what, you're not really missing out on anything, because in years to come, those will be the moments that you remember with your baby. They are the most precious, divinative moments that you can experience with your baby. So everything else, taking them to the groups, taking them to, doing all these social activities, going out, meeting friends in coffee shops, do you know what? Actually, you'll start to realize they were just the little things. They were just the little things. And though they're nice to do, you will get to do them again at some point, and you'll get to experience those things. Your baby isn't missing out on anything. So try to release any guilt surrounding what you can't control as to the kind of experience you would have hoped to have given your baby as soon as your child was born. Release any guilt. None of that is in your control right now, but you can make the moments count. As long as your child feels the love, they will feel secure. They will feel happy. That child will not know anything else apart from you and the experiences that it's having in the moment. Okay, so try not to worry too much. Hold that space to feel safe for yourself and for your babies, and just trust that no matter what the circumstances are externally, by the time your baby arrives, that everything is going to be all right. Okay, we're really blessed. We have some wonderful teams of nursing staff and midwives that are supporting us at this time, and that when our time comes, we'll be there to support us then as well. So just hold the faith. Everything is going to be all right. Your baby is not missing out on anything. Some of your dreams and hopes may have had to have taken a new direction. Allow yourself to process that, and then move on and just really focus on what matters, and that is you and your healthy, beautiful babies that you're bringing into this world, and the loving moments that you are going to share with each other in your home. Okay, so whether quarantine is done by then or not, you're going to be spending a lot of time at home anyway when the little one comes along. And just bonding and getting to know your babies, and that's the whole beauty. That's the whole beauty of it anyway. So try to take some comfort. I hope some things, I've babbled a little bit, I hope some things that I've shared help you. But yeah, surrender, flow with the moment, release expectation. Even when we have expectation of things, how things are going to be, it can change at any moment. And the more expectations that we have, the more we can actually end up building ourselves up for disappointment. So we have to be ready for things to change at any time. Be positive, have faith, but that positivity isn't necessarily saying that, yes, this is definitely how it's going to be. I feel very positive and I won't have it any other way. No, being positive is just surrendering to however it ends up being, that's okay. Okay, and that's how it was meant to be, and to just trust. Okay, I'm sending you my love at this time. God bless. Thank you. Bye-bye.